Right now, while you're sitting here watching this video, someone over 60 is struggling through a stroke. It happens every 40 seconds. According to the CDC, over 2/3 of all strokes happen to adults age 60 or older. And the surprising part? The nutrition and food choices you make every single day could be the deciding factor in whether or not a stroke happens to you. Yes, you heard that right. It's not supplements, not vitamins, but the actual food on your plate that holds the real power to prevent stroke. A few years ago, I watched my neighbor collapse from a stroke right outside our community center. He was 68, played pickleball every morning, and thought he was doing everything right. But one thing he never thought to change: his diet. That moment hit me hard. I started digging into science, and what I discovered changed everything I put on my plate. The right foods could strengthen the heart, improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and even protect the brain. Hi, it's Vernon again. In today's video, I'll walk you through 5 best foods that help prevent strokes in seniors over 60. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to be one of the first to gain solid, science-backed knowledge about senior nutrition, because every step you take toward smarter eating is a step toward better living. Now, let's dive into the first food on our list. I think you'll be surprised it's not expensive, and it might already be sitting in your refrigerator right now. Food number 1. Leafy greens. I've talked a lot about leafy greens in previous videos for good reason. They're amazing for blood sugar control, muscle recovery, and even anti-aging. So, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I'm willing to bet you already have some spinach, kale, or collard greens in your fridge today. Am I right? If that's you, drop a quick comment saying leafy greens great, so I'll know you've been following along, and more importantly, that what I share is actually helping you live stronger. And if you're already eating them, good. Keep going. Because here's something you may not know yet. Leafy greens aren't just great for your blood sugar or your muscles, they're also among the most powerful foods for stroke prevention. In fact, a 2021 study in Neurology revealed that older adults who ate just 1 to 2 servings of leafy greens per day had brains that aged 11 years slower than those who rarely consumed them. Imagine that. Just a simple handful of greens could keep your brain a decade younger. I've shared before how leafy greens help with blood sugar and muscle recovery, but now we know they can protect against stroke too. So if you already have some spinach or kale sitting in your fridge, don't let it go to waste. It might just be one of the smartest health moves you make this week. I've seen how it works well with Margaret, my best friend, a 74-year-old retired nurse, used to have frequent dizzy spells. After adding a green smoothie to her morning routine, her doctor noticed improvements in her blood pressure within 6 weeks. Leafy greens also help regulate homocysteine, an amino acid linked to higher stroke risk. So if leafy greens are already part of your meals, great, keep it up. Every handful supports your brain, your balance, and your blood flow. And if you haven't started yet, this is the perfect time. Just a few servings a week can make a real difference. It's not about big changes, it's about small, steady choices that protect you every day. Let leafy greens be one of those choices. Now, leafy greens may be gentle and green, but the next food on our list? It's rich, oily, and often misunderstood. Yet it could be the key to keeping your arteries clear and your heart beating strong. Food 2. Number, fatty fish. You know that lingering pressure in your chest? The sudden dizziness when standing up too fast? That quiet fear that your heart might not be as strong as it used to be? For many adults over 60, these signs are more than just getting older. They're early whispers from the cardiovascular system, warning that circulation is weakening and arteries are stiffening. But here's the part no one tells you. One of the simplest, most natural ways to fight back is sitting right at the fish counter. Fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and trout, are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. These healthy fats lower inflammation throughout the body, reduce blood clotting risk, improve arterial flexibility, and protect the brain's blood supply. According to a 2016 study published in Stroke, the Journal of the American Heart Association found that seniors who consumed fatty fish just twice per week lowered their risk of ischemic stroke by 27%. And it doesn't stop there. Other clinical reviews, like a 2020 meta-analysis in Nutrients, showed that omega-3s significantly improve endothelial function, meaning they help your arteries dilate and deliver oxygen-rich blood more efficiently to your brain. That's critical for reducing the kind of silent damage that leads to stroke and cognitive decline. So what's the best way to add this into your routine? Aim for 2 servings per week, around 3-4 ounces each. Grilled salmon, baked sardines, or even canned mackerel in olive oil are all fantastic options. Just avoid frying. High heat in oils like vegetable or corn oil cancels many of the benefits. And if the taste puts you off, start small. Add lemon, herbs, or cook with a touch of garlic to balance the flavor. With time, your palate adapts and your body thanks you for it. Now, before we move on, here's my gentle reminder. Don't let old beliefs about bad fats stop you from nourishing your heart and protecting your brain. Not all fats are created equal, and fatty fish might just be the healthiest fat you'll ever eat. Here's your next challenge. Can you guess which sweet, innocent-looking food is actually a brain-boosting powerhouse for stroke prevention? Drop your guess in the comments before I will reveal it in the next point. Food number 3. Berries. I once had a patient named Clara, a retired piano teacher in her early 70s. Her fingers were still swift, but her memory, not so much. She'd forget entire passages of music, even pieces she'd taught for decades. Her daughter, worried about early cognitive decline, brought her to me. Clara's diet was packed with pastries and processed fruit cups, but almost no real berries. We made one small switch, a daily cup of blueberries and strawberries. Within 2 months, Clara told me she could memorize full pages again, and she was back to performing at her local church. You see, berries, especially blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries, are some of the most powerful brain-boosting foods for seniors. They belong firmly in the must-eat category for anyone over 60. Why? Because they contain anthocyanins, potent antioxidants that cross the blood-brain barrier and reduce oxidative stress, which plays a major role in stroke and memory loss. You can totally double-check what I said above in the 2012 Harvard study published in Annals of Neurology, followed over 16,000 older women, and found that those who consumed more berries had slower rates of cognitive decline by up to 2.5 years. But the benefits don't stop at the brain. Berries are also low in sodium, high in fiber, and help regulate blood pressure, a major stroke trigger in seniors. Visual cue. Close-up shot of blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries being added to oatmeal. Here's something surprising. Even frozen berries maintain most of their brain protective benefits. So if you're on a budget or have trouble accessing fresh produce, you're not missing out. Clara's story stayed with me, not just because of her sickness, but because of how one small change lit up her mind again. It made me wonder, if something as simple as a handful of berries could turn back the clock on memory loss, what other everyday foods were quietly protecting seniors from strokes? That question took me to the home of Mr. Raymond, a retired postal worker with the sharpest wit, but a family history of strokes. And what he taught me next completely changed how I think about a common, citrusy fruit most seniors overlook. Now, let's talk about food number 4, a powerful source of vascular protection hiding in plain sight. Food number 4, citrus fruits. When most people think of citrus, lemons, oranges, and grapefruits, they think of vitamin C. But for seniors focused on stroke prevention, these fruits offer something far more powerful: natural blood thinning and anti-inflammatory compounds that help protect blood vessels and prevent dangerous clots. Citrus fruits are rich in flavonoids, especially hesperidin and naringenin. These plant compounds have been shown to improve blood flow, reduce arterial stiffness, and lower both LDL cholesterol and blood pressure, which are two of the top contributors to ischemic strokes after age 60. And here's what really caught my attention. Researchers from the American Heart Association tracked thousands of people over several years. What they found was striking. Older adults who regularly consumed citrus fruits had nearly a 1 in 5 lower chance of having a stroke. That's not a small difference. That's the kind of number that could rewrite your next decade. Even better, citrus fruits also support digestion, boost immune function, and are naturally low in calories and sodium, making them an ideal addition to a stroke prevention diet for seniors. Just be mindful if you're on blood pressure or cholesterol medications. Grapefruit, in particular, can interact with certain drugs, so always check with your doctor first. Now that we've covered something zesty and heart-healthy, let's explore a surprisingly risky food, one many seniors think is a safe, protein-packed snack, but might quietly be harming your brain and muscles after 60. Food number 5. Walnuts. If there's one food I wish every senior would add to their pantry today, it's this one: walnuts. Not just any nut, but a true powerhouse for stroke prevention and brain health after 60. What makes walnuts so special is their high concentration of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. Unlike saturated fats that can clog arteries, Alabama A helps reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and improve blood vessel flexibility, a critical factor in preventing both ischemic and hemorrhagic strokes. In fact, a 2020 study from Nutrients found that seniors who consumed just 5 walnuts a day had significantly better cognitive function and lower stroke risk over a 3-year period. I've shared a lot in previous videos about how powerful nuts like walnuts are, not just for stroke prevention, but also for kidney health and even blood sugar control in diabetics. If you haven't explored those yet, I highly recommend checking out my playlist, Nutrition for Longevity 55+. You might find exactly the insight you've been missing. Even better, walnuts contain magnesium and polyphenols, both of which support calcium balance and vascular health, two often overlooked factors in senior stroke prevention. And I'm not just recommending them. I eat a small handful of walnuts every morning with my oatmeal. It's a simple habit, but over time, I've noticed real changes in my energy, focus, and even how steady my blood pressure stays throughout the day. My overall health improved so noticeably that the people around me could actually see the difference, especially my wife. She's now started adding walnuts to her own daily meals, and we've made it a shared ritual in our kitchen every morning. So if you haven't made walnuts a part of your daily routine yet, let today be the day you start. Your brain, your heart, and maybe even your loved ones will thank you for it. Conclusion. Let's take a quick moment to recap. Today, we explored 5 powerful foods that aren't just good for you, they could actually help prevent one of the most devastating health events for seniors: stroke. We started with leafy greens, gentle but mighty for your brain and blood vessels. Then came fatty fish, rich in omega-3s to keep your arteries flexible and clear. Next, we saw how something as sweet and simple as berries can slow brain aging. We uncovered the citrus family's hidden superpower to boost circulation and protect against clots. And finally, we wrapped up with walnut small, brain-shaped wonders packed with stroke-fighting nutrients. Now, I want you to pause and ask yourself, which of these 5 foods can I start adding to my day today? Not next month, not next year today. Because here's the truth, every forkful matters. It's not about radical diets or expensive supplements, it's about choosing foods that work with your body, not against it. Foods that protect your brain, your heart, your independence. I've seen these changes firsthand in my neighbors, my friends, and even in my own kitchen, and I believe the same is possible for you. Now it's your turn. Which of the 5 foods surprised you the most? And which one will you try this week? Drop a comment below. I read everyone. And if this video helped you feel more confident about how to eat for your health after 60, give it a like and subscribe. I've got more practical, science-backed videos coming your way. Remember, it's the small choices, made daily, that shape the rest of your life. You deserve a future that's strong, steady, and clear-minded, and it can start with your next meal. Thanks for spending this time with Meth. Is Vernon, wishing you health, hope, and a heart that keeps on beating strong.